said 30 minutes?
30 plus 3.
30 minutes.
It's our final race.
Woo! Which means
Last chance saloon.
which means it should be pretty super racy.
Yep, guys, it's the last race of the season for us. The TNT, what I'm calling the underground crit, the airport crit, the Marion crit. I don't know. It's not really a race. It's just a fun ride. And it's awesome. We got Kentucky guys coming now. We got Nate. We got Austin. We got old timers Jeff. We got me, Gabe. And we've got Hank. And we've got, of course, Justin, since we lost Nico to a move. We're missing Big Dog AWOL. We're missing a couple others. And there's some people who I'm really disappointed who didn't come out. You know, like I know they got life going on. But we got some strong riders that would have been fun to have here, like Meacham maybe. If you ever hear this, you should come out. But we're doing this again next year. So this is our last crit. Beautiful night. This truly was a Twilight crit. We had to cut it short to 30 minutes, which should, you know, make me a lot happier. I was feeling pretty good. I had a really easy weekend. I didn't do any hard riding or anything. So I wanted to play it safe. You know, I wanted to be smart. So I was kind of tail gunning. You know, I didn't want to have to touch the brakes, but also I wanted to stay in. Now, when you have 7-8 guys and you're doing a crit, it's not really a crit in the sense that, you know, we don't really have a pack. It's more like riding in a breakaway. Like, you know, he's pretty much going to get strung out real easy. But we did things a little different this night. And this was, I think everybody sort of was thinking, okay, last chance to do something. So I don't want to get dropped and I don't want to blow it. So can't remember who's making some speed right here, but this was our first lap, and this is a couple laps later, and boom, Justin's first attack. Look at that. It takes off hard. This one definitely strings the group out, and I have to put in some big power here to hang on, but I do. And I'm getting, you know, it's looking like I'm getting dropped, but I was just trying to, I really wanted to try to maintain a certain level of like chill on this ride, because you know, I was like, I didn't want to blow up, and I was pretty sure I didn't need to like go DEFCON 5 there and stand up and sprint to catch up. I just needed to keep the pace. Gets pulled back right here. There he is. Give up. Cruising back into the pack. So if you've been following along, I haven't actually finished on the lead loop for the lead lap for this entire race. Here I am, I got to the front, and we had been kind of rotating turns for quite a while, taking it pretty easy. Nobody was wanting, there wasn't a lot of attacks on this ride other than I think Justin threw around, but Hank, I think that's Hank. He throws down a pretty tough attack there and stretches the field out. But this one, I was a little more warmed up, and also I was feeling pretty good. So Gabe turned around, and he's like, "You gonna be okay?" You know, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be fine." I was feeling better at this point than that earlier attack, which did kind of make me worried I wasn't going to get past a second lap or something. But I just was trying to be smooth. I didn't want to like respond super hard. I was trying to be arrow here, doing my illegal UCI tuck. So this is about 25 minutes in, and I was feeling really good. Like I had, my heart rate had come down pretty low. We had been just turning laps for several laps, and Justin rides off the front here. I didn't even realize he attacked until, you know, maybe a little bit before this curve, and nobody wanted to respond. Like you saw, nobody chased him down. Everybody was just like, no. Jeff decides he's not going to do all the work, and he draws back, and I decide, hey, why not? You know, I was feeling so good, I'm like, go for it. So I dropped down in my illegal UCI arrow tuck, you know, again, and I rode pretty fast. This was actually the fastest lap I've ever turned out there, and I was pretty proud of that because, you know, quite a bit of the lap I'm on my own here, at least a quarter of it, trying to catch Justin, I'd say. So going pretty fast. I think I took about 30 on that curve and going pretty fast through here. And I was surprised how quickly I caught him. I probably overcooked it there. I probably didn't need to try to catch him that fast. And I'm going to talk for a minute about my huge mistake on this ride and why that was such a big fail. I got really excited. Like I said, I went all out with the goal of dropping the rest of the group, connecting to Justin, and I figured once I got to Justin, we would work together, and I thought maybe this will be my chance to get second. It's like me and Justin will work together. The field won't catch us. I'm feeling that good. And once I got into him and I started kind of trying to go into recovery mode, I just couldn't. Like, it was like my body couldn't recover. He was going about 23 through here, and 23 in a draft should not be that hard. Now, like, he's not drafting a big dude like, me. He's a smaller, thin guy, and he's riding pretty arrow, but still, I just wasn't recovering. He tried to wave me through. I couldn't do it. I'm like, no, man, I'll just slow you down. And he's like, okay. And he kept pulling. He's going around 22 and a half, 23 and a half through here. And he's hurting because he's pulled this attack out for a while. And, I should have been like, dude, I'm not pulling. He's so much faster than me. And, he didn't need, he wanted a break, but I had no responsibility where I had to give him a break. I was really wanting to, and I felt like I should. I don't think he's trying to drop me though, but I don't really think he could have. I think he was hurting a couple times through here. He's like, "You gonna be able to pull?" And he's pulling away from me, and I was like, "Oh, I was hurting. I did not feel like I was recovering. I went too hard trying to catch him." And so, yeah, he's like, come on, we got to work together, and I'm like, yeah, I totally fall for it. I'm like, I can do it. I can pull. I'm like, just a little bit more recovery. I was like, I'm going to get over it. My heart rate's like stuck at 170. It won't come down. And it's just like, I needed him to slow up just a bit. If he would just have slowed up a little bit and let me get my heart rate down, I think we could have worked together really well. And, not got caught together. Of course, he'd outsprint me for the win. But right here, I decide, okay, he's like, give me 10 seconds. He kept saying, give me 10 seconds. So I'm like, okay. So I get down, I go to the front, and guess what? My 10 seconds, that's really all I had to give. Like, I think the speed immediately went down from like 23 to about 22 when I got on the front. And that's like pretty much all I had. When I come around that corner, I was like, oh man, do I got to keep pulling? And he said, okay, Golson, that's better. I feel better. He come around me, and he could drop me really easy if he wanted to. He's really not trying to drop me. He's trying to, work together with me. He wants to work together. And I cannot catch my breath. I could not get recovered. And I'm realizing here I'm going to drop the wheel. Well, it wasn't much later, and the entire pack passed me by, and but I wasn't dead. Like sometimes when this happens to me, I just have to stop, and I could keep going. I was going like 21, which 21. I was looking, and I was being smart. I was looking at my computer, and I was like, okay, I'm just riding my threshold, which the other day I could set and ride at about 240 watts. So I was sitting here riding at 240 watts, and I wasn't really getting dropped, but I wasn't really catching back on. I was dangling, and I'm gonna dangle for a while, and eventually I just realized I'm not gonna catch these guys. So thinking about it, I'm like, okay, if we do this again next year, which I'm really thinking we are, and we've got to start throwing some team aspects into this, because right now it's really every man for themselves, and we need to, like, we all want to win, but the truth of the matter is that we're like, ranging from age from like, I don't know, 26 or something to like 50, 60. I'm not sure how old Jeff is, but dude, man, he has kicked my butt the last several times, and I'm just, I'm like, man, the guy's strong. But we've got to work together as a team and beat Justin. I mean, that's really the only way we're gonna be able to beat him. So if I had just sat on his wheel, not pulled, I would say that I could have stayed on. He might have could have dropped me, but he would have had to have put in a little effort, and that might have hurt him. He might have not been able to hang on. That could have brought him back. Or we got to take turns, like covering him. And then, which we kind of do, usually somebody covers him. But instead of sprinting up there all out to catch him and try to ride with him. I should have just went to the front and pulled the group at, instead of like 30 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour. I could have pulled the group at 25 miles an hour for, a half a lap, and then pulled off, somebody else pull, and I wouldn't have blown up. And I think if we worked together like that, instead of like, okay, I'm going to drop these guys so that I can later get dropped. Instead, it's like, we've got to work together. Somebody might have to sacrifice themselves, to get us back. But we're going for a team win instead. Now, who's the team? Everybody. In the beginning of the series, we had Nico, and at least we had two super strong guys that, kind of could, it was at least between those two, most of the time. But yeah, so really looking forward to this next year. We've had a great time, been very safe, no crashes, no injuries. We're just racing for fun, and everybody's, doing a great job. And it was really, really good to see some new riders coming in, the guys from the Kentucky, the Bike World Squad. Hope we get some new guys next year. Keep this thing growing, because it's great. We can get 12, 14 riders. We'll start to have something resembling an actual pack and a lot better dynamics, I think, instead of always feeling like riding a breakaway. So TNT, check us out on Facebook. Train up over the winter, come out and kick butt next year. We'll probably start this thing up in maybe April next year. I'm hoping. So later, guys.